Forest under my fingernails. Reflections and encounters on the long trail. I can't with this guy. He's just... Okay.
You have to say who the author is.
Oh, I'm sorry. The author is Walt McLaughlin, a true genius of our time. He's a philosophy major. He just really likes the woods.
Wait, calm down before you start.
Okay. The manic cry of a distant oven bird breaks the late morning silence as I struggle breathlessly up the steep pine cobble trail with the 50-pound pack tugging at my shoulders. Even though it's only the first day of June, summer already has a firm grip on these mountains. The refreshing coolness of early spring is a blurred memory. I sweat, gulp down water, then sweat some more, despite the deliberately slow pace I keep. My foot barely misses a garter snake. The intoxicating smell of unseen wildflowers wafts through the air. Chipmunks chatter from the crackling leaf litter on forest floor. My walking stick clicks against dusty rocks strewn haphazardly across the beaten path. After several months of preparation, planning, and waiting, I am finally on the move. That white-blazed trail, stretching the entire length of Vermont, begins just ahead. The surrounding forest looks familiar, but I'm not quite in sync with it yet. A part of me is still in a Williamstown cafe, enjoying brunch with my wife, Judy, while listening to classical music. It will take a while to match the natural rhythm of things. Several thresholds must be crossed before that can happen. The first will come in a matter of hours. Another after a night in the woods. Yet another in a few days. I relish this gradual return to a simpler existence, yet something deep inside me recoils in mute terror from it. More has been abandoned at the trailhead than the mere amenities of modern living. With a little coaxing from the forest, a wilder self would slowly emerge, but only at the expense of something more refined, genteel. It is a trade-off, to be sure. No, we're just gonna keep going. This is intense Walt experience right now, guys. You're welcome. Okay. Oh no! I just realized what the next part is. Okay. Walt, why? A few moments later, I lounge naked on the rock, enjoying a light lunch while drying in the sun. Someone might see me from the trail, hugging the opposite side of the stream. But I don't care. The sun drops from sight, leaving thick swatches of blaze orange in an otherwise pastel sky. The pond buzzes with activity as newly awakened creatures ply earth, water, and sky for food and sex. The planet sees... Your face! Okay. The planet seeds life. I lose myself in the vernal frenzy. A stealthy mosquito sneaks away with a drop of protein-rich blood while I absently slap the place on my skin where it landed. No apologies rendered, none accepted. So it goes. What's the next? Oh, this is where Walt really lets out his inner wild man, I have to say. He's a real rebel. Signs posted along the left side of the road warn against the hazards of travel in the wilderness area beyond. It takes all the willpower I can muster to stay on the road. The wild man in me wants to abandon this gentle pathway and dive into the beckoning, untrammeled forest. I haven't mentioned in the post yet, but Walt is like this middle-aged white man who really likes talking about his wife, Judy.
Insert a picture.
Oh yes, I'll insert a picture. And his dog, Matika. Okay. Ooh, no. Walt, why? Lake Pleiad is an alpine pond nestled in a pocket of woods between ski slopes. The place is all mine for the time being, so I strip off my clothes and go for a swim. Afterwards, I lie naked on a patch of grass, drying under a hot midday sun, immersed in the elemental sensuality of it all. The subtle wildness of this place seeps through my flesh. The dark conifers skirting the tiny lake become my bones. The brackish water, my blood. The lake's glassy surface is cratered by thousands of insects dancing silently in blinding light. My heart keeps time. On a hunch that someone might show up, I slip back into my hiking shorts. Good thing! A young couple suddenly appears at the water's edge. Another pair arrives a few minutes later. Why? Why would he be laying naked when he knows that people could be near here? Oh, right, remember earlier? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Okay. Oh, this is long. Okay. A young woman is camped alone here. She's a wilderness ranger from the Student Conservation Association. Apparently starved for company, she greets me with a big smile and a dozen questions. Despite my fatigue, I enjoy conversing with her. We talk about the weather, flowers, moose, everything imaginable. We do a food swap on the shelter floor, like two kids trading marbles. I get her extra package of crackers, not craters, in exchange for my unopened jar of peanut butter. It's going to be a delightful evening together, I start thinking. Just then, two muscular, shirtless fellows about my age arrive from the south in a sudden wave of loud, sweaty bravado. Despite the heat, listen, this is capitalized, shirtless wonders gather together a huge pile of wood. Then they start a fire. It'll keep the bugs away, they say. I try to explain why that's a bad idea, but they aren't listening. The wilderness ranger says nothing. With terrible swiftness, there's a bonfire crackling in the fire pit. A small dead spruce dangles over the edge, burning like an oversized match. A steady wind blows embers towards the shelter. I can't help but wonder how many GMC shelters have been lost this way. As a precaution, I fill every available container with water. Then I await disaster. Fortunately, the fire never blows completely out of control. It flares wildly at first, but the shirtless wonders can't find enough readily available fuel to sustain it. All the time, I don't breathe easily until the spruce burns into oblivion. The wilderness ranger gravitates toward one of the shirtless wonders for reasons only youth can understand. I suspect that she's been camped out here too long, that she craves more than just a little attention. When the touching begins, under the guise of a back massage, I consider moving out of the shelter. But that seems rather puritanical of me, so I choose to ignore them instead. Good life choices, Walt. The A+. Just great. Oh, okay. This is going to be echoed in a little bit in the ending of the book, which is on the back of the book, which is why you know it's important. It also had the title in it. Twice. He did it twice. Why? Okay. The forest is under... Okay. The forest is under my fingernails. A mountain stream runs through me. My skin smells like the rotting leaves underfoot. I inhabit these woods no less than fleeting deer or chattering chipmunks. 3 weeks on the trail, and I belong in this green universe. The wind brushes over my face. I've given enough blood to the many biting insects to qualify as part of the grand design. My feet follow an unending path, cutting through yellow lilies and bunch berries. My spirit soars high overhead among the few wispy clouds. My heart sinks deep into the earth, as solid and unmoved there as the dark gray bedrock. Today, this hour, this moment, I am a woods walker. Nothing more, nothing less. And that once future life of mine, back in the lowlands, is only a vague concept, a fading memory. Is the last one the last thing?
I think so.
Okay, so I'm literally reading the same passage twice because Walt literally wrote the same passage twice in the same book.
It just has the same...
It starts exactly the same. Okay. A forest is under my fingernails. A mountain stream runs through me. I am no less wild than a bear or a moose. Things that were important to me a month ago no longer matter. I am free. As free as any creature can be within the brackets of mortality. And it's a very good feeling. But I know from experience, this feeling can't last. All too soon, the simple reality of the wild can be obscured by the complex abstractions of a much more domesticated lifestyle. In due time, I'll start forgetting what I am. Then I'll have to drop whatever I'm doing and head for the hills for yet another reminder. Oh, wait. Kelsey wanted me to remind you guys that we only read our favorite selections, and there are actually a lot more that are a lot better than this, but we had to do some filtering here. Also, she wanted you to know that Walt is not a crazy dude just like living wild and naked in the forest. We only read some of the scenes where he was living wild and naked in the forest. The rest of the time he talks about chipmunks and how many nuts he's carrying, because apparently he packed like way too many nuts.
Yeah, he did. He packed like 5 pounds of nuts.
Oh, and at one time there was like a dude who was like, he described him as the trail Buddha. and he started being jealous of this trail Buddha who could glide over the path or whatever. And he was like, maybe just out of resentment, I'll try to stick him with 2 pounds of nuts. Because he literally packed like 10 pounds of nuts. Because he was like, they're so nutritious, and I'm an old white dude walking the trails in Vermont. Anyway, there's your dose of Walt. You're welcome.
Feel free to check out this book. It's on Amazon.
Yes. Because as Walt says on his blog, check it out. Look
and
it up.
Facebook.
And Facebook. And his he has an article about
how much he hates Christmas.
How much he hates Christmas. Anyway, it's called Forest Under My Fingernails.
It's only $14.
And selling his books online apparently keeps him very, very busy. So you should really give him some business, folks.
He also has a book of short stories.
Are you serious? No. Okay, we need to finish this. Yeah, go.